Andy Murray. Hello. Tonight was a complete war. That's how it looked out there tonight. Can you describe the the emotions that were on the court? Can you describe the kind of action that took place between you and your opponent, Gabishvili?
Yeah, it was a tough match. Obviously disappointed not to close out in the third set when I had the chance to do that. Got off to a slightly slow start. Struggled a bit with my timing early on, but there's some good rallies. I thought, I moved pretty well. I thought he served well in some big moments, especially in the third set. And yeah, I mean, there's things that I feel like I could have done better, but yeah, it was obviously disappointing to lose after serving for the match.
When you're playing someone who goes for their shots like that, are those kind of players the most dangerous to play, who just kind of go for broke? And it looked like towards the end of that third set, he was just kind of swinging everything. Are those players kind of the most dangerous?
I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of the players now, obviously, are big hitters of the ball, good athletes, and yeah, like I said, I just feel like he served well on the big moments. It wasn't so much the sort of the hitting from the back of the court that was, the issue. It was just more, I felt like I could have returned better, but also he served well. And yeah, it's a pretty quick court here. I think it's getting a little bit quicker as the week goes on, and if you serve into the spots and yeah, go for your serves, you can get good rewards.
Andy, was your left leg bothering you at all early on?
My left leg, no, nothing was bothering me physically, no.
And when he got taped up, did you see any change in his game?
Absolutely nothing, no.
I'm just wondering, the other day you tweeted a link to a BBC article about the big doping kind of news of the week. Could you put into words sort of what your reaction was when you saw that piece about athletics and the leak about, what I'm talking about, right?
The leak, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
The leak of the WADA
Yeah.
information about doping. Like, do you
Yes.
have anything to say about that? What?
Well, yeah, it's obviously disappointing. Funnily enough, I had a blood test the following morning at 7:30, and then just got tested here since I retweeted that. But yeah, it's obviously very disappointing, and you want to obviously believe in all of the great things that you see on the TV, and when you hear about things like that, it's disappointing.
Andy, can you just talk a little about your frustration as that third set wore on? It seemed like you were talking a lot to looked like Jonas in the corner, saying he wasn't listening. Just what particularly was bothering you there? Because it seemed to keep going for a lot of that set.
I think, again, when you learn more about like how people react when they're on the court, often what you say, you don't mean what you say, especially when it comes immediately after you make a mistake, or when you're frustrated after you lose a game. I felt like, when I lost at Wimbledon, Roger did obviously serve great in that match, and today Timur served well, but I normally back myself to return a little bit better than I did. I think in the tie-break, I don't think I put one return in the court when he was serving. I could be wrong, but I think that's the case. 4 or 5 service points, and yeah, I feel like I didn't do a good enough job maybe at Wimbledon of putting enough first serve returns in the court, and that's something that I think cost me a little bit tonight as well, and it's frustrating.
Overall, how does this affect your U.S. Open prep? I assume you head to Canada pretty shortly.
It was obviously a disappointing match to lose, but it's not like, I went out and got, blown off the court, or it was, a match that I had no chance of winning. I feel like I put myself in a position to win the match. It's the first hard court match, and I don't know, 4.5 months, with, you know, only 4 or 5 days of preparation. You know, so I was happy with how I moved and did certain things on the court, but I felt like there's some things for me to improve, and, you know, hopefully with a few more days and having that match under my belt, I'll be able to make some improvements for the next few weeks.
Andy, there's been a number of female coaches hired in men's sports in America over the past couple of months, past year, whatever. That's obviously a topic that matters to you. Have you noticed that, and what's been your reaction to some of those moves by the teams in America?
Yeah, I think it's something that's going to happen more and more. I think it's, you know, once I don't know, the gates are open and more people do it, all it takes is a little bit of success, and you know people or teams doing well when, you know, they have female coaches, and then people, you know, will start to open up and realize that it doesn't actually make a difference whether it's a man or a woman. It's about the quality of their work, and, you know, how seriously they take it. So it doesn't really surprise me. It's taken a long time, but I think it'll happen more and more. I don't know how long it'll be until it's, you know, equal or split, or if that will ever be the case, but I think it'll get close to there, hopefully sooner rather than later.
A minute ago, in responding to Ben's question about frustrations and sort of expressing your frustrations on court, you alluded to the work that you've been doing off court and trying to understand sort of how the brain works, and the fact that just because you say it doesn't mean you actually really think it, and all that sort of stuff. I'm wondering, in addition to trying to understand how that works, are you also working on sort of not doing it in the first place, or is it more understanding your?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to limit it, you know, as much as possible. But the most important thing is that it doesn't become a problem like the next point. You know, if you say something immediately after the point, and then, you know, you are concentrating the next sort of 10-15 seconds on how you want to play the next point, then, you know, it makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. The problem is if you are thinking about your mistakes and overanalyzing like what's going on out there, is when it becomes you know, problematic. And then, you know, for me, sometimes at change of ends, I try to, you know, if there's anything that's frustrating me, or, you know, I want to get some emotions out, I'll do it there. And then, you know, when I get up to serve or receive the next game, concentrating on the next point, or how I'm going to win the next game.